Hey, welcome back to the channel. You bought a used car. The previous owner didn't really care about it and left it sitting around for a while. Finally wanted to get rid of it. And you decided, you know what, that'd be a great car to get. I could fix it up. Well, you got your work ahead of you. But, you know, that's just what has to happen. We have a 2001 Acura CL. And if you looked at the previous video, you would see that this car had a fender that was damaged and, you know, just some general cleanup that has to be done. So what we're going to go over today is we're going to go over how to get, before you do any maintenance, before you do any work, you want to clean this up. And we got to do it in 3 pretty easy steps. Step 1, clean all the debris out. Get all of the debris out. We have, you know, leaves and spider webs, cobwebs, stuff that we don't want to be dealing with while we're working, because you can't really do any of the maintenance stuff if you're digging around through all of this. Step 2 is to remove all the grime and dirt from the surfaces. You want to be able to get in there and just kind of give it a good wipe down and make sure everything's clean. And step 3 is all about detailing and getting everything to look fresh and nice. That way when you're working on it, you just feel better about the car. See, the reality of it is, cars like this, they get sold because somebody feels they're old. Maybe they need a couple little things here and there, but they feel like it's time to move on. Well, in this car in particular, or cars like this, I'm really big about these older luxury cars because you get all the bells and whistles, and they usually always work. But you also get relative performance, and you get it at an affordable price. A car like this is about $1,000 to $3,000 depending on condition. It's got 100 and change on it. It'll run for quite some time as long as maintenance is done. And people get rid of them because they feel they just grown past it. Well, when it was new, it was a beautiful machine. So how close can you get it to that new to make it feel like a beautiful machine? And then you'll actually appreciate it. Will it go up in value? Not much. But will you have a nice car that you can drive around and really enjoy, because it does have all the things you want for way less money? Let's dig in. Let's get all this out of here. This is gross. This is gross. So we went through and we vacuumed out as much as we can get our hands on, all the leaves that we could see, as much of the cobwebs that were everywhere in this car in particular. And now we're going to go on to getting all of this gross dust and just grease from over the years off of the car. And we're going to use just a couple things, really cheap stuff. The first thing that we're going to use is we're going to use this California's Totally Awesome, which comes from the dollar store. It's a degreaser. It works on everything, and it's $1. It's $1, and it's a concentrate. So essentially we have a 4-to-1 mixed up right here in this little sprayer, and we're going to spray down stuff, wipe it down just to try to get some of this off. It'll actually work really good on engine blocks too. If you use more of a 1-to-1 or a 1-to-2 ratio, it'll get all that old oil off. Cleans it up pretty good. Not bad stuff. Really not that bad. It's cheap. So if you're listening, Totally Awesome, I could use an endorsement from you guys, and that would be really great. Maybe a lifetime supply. So if you have $15 to spare, maybe you could hook me up, because this stuff lasts a long time. I mean, it's ridiculous. So pop down to a dollar store, get some of that. You'll love yourself for it. That's the truth. And next, we're going to use the spray away glass cleaner. I use it on like everything. It works really well at just kind of overall cleaning surfaces up and just making things consistent. And it doesn't leave any residue or anything like that. And it has this nice foam to it. So that really does help a lot. And then we have the duster. While we're going through cleaning any of this stuff, If we get some debris that falls into a crack, we'll just spray it out right then because we don't want it to dry inside of that, and then it'll end up being harder to clean out later. So we'll just knock it out as we go. Big box of rags, get some microfibers, and basically let's just start cleaning away at it and see how far we can take it before we do any detailing on it. Cool, let's go. Let's get this grime out of here. All right, yeah, let's do that. Let's just do time lapse. Time lapse, send it. So that was just a round of the LA's Totally Awesome, whatever, dollar store stuff. It is really great. It was recommended to me by my pops, who's an awesome hot rod builder and lifetime mechanic. So it really does work super good. So I highly recommend it. For $1, you can't beat it. Please don't buy it from my store because I kind of need it. But we're going to move on now that we've kind of cleaned the surfaces up. We're going to take that away and we're going to use some spray away. Now, I like using this stuff because it foams out and it just leaves us with a nice clean finish. Removes a lot of material and stuff like that. They do have some other cleaning ones. I just prefer using the glass cleaner, if that sounds weird. But it's good. It is good stuff. So it's not too expensive. It's just glass cleaner, but it works really well on glass too, by the way. But all right, so let's do that one. Gone through, cleaned all this stuff. We moved our gates timing belt notification up to the corner of the car there so it's visible, and it looks pretty good. Like it looks clean at this point. You could leave it here and you'd feel good about it. Now, if you were going to make this a show car, you would take everything down to its bare minimums, clean, and then work your way up. But this is a daily driver and you want to feel good about working on it, changing the oil. Feel like you can get to sensors and stuff without getting your hands super dirty. We could leave this exactly how it is. I feel great about it at this point. I think it's fancy. This is the time that you call up your friends and say, hey, I just got a new car. You got to come check it out. The thing's pretty sweet. You don't want to show it to them when it's dirty. So they come over, they see it like this, and they're like, wow, you got a hell of a deal. But you know what it was. We can take this further. We can do a couple more steps if you want. And I'm going to go the shiny route just because we can show you that. But I don't really like that look. But we try for fun because I got a can of it sitting around. And we might as well. So here we got your Gunk engine shine. I think that like plastic cleaners or Meguiar's vinyl cleaner works really well on this type of stuff. This is already shiny here, the strut tower brace. So we won't touch that. We're just going to go over the surface of that and maybe hit some of the hoses and stuff and see what we end up with. I mean, it might be awesome. But I like the lower luster, especially for a daily. It doesn't need to be fancy, but you could take it as far as you want. So let's see what that does. At that. Not too much shine. I wiped it on and then wiped it off and kept doing that, and it really helped it out. You can get in there and see it. It looks like pretty new plastic. I mean, But if you really wanted to dig in and you were going to take this to car shows, there's a lot of little areas I would get in. I would actually use a toothbrush and so forth on that. But for the most part, this isn't looking too bad. Airbox is looking pretty clean. And look at that. I mean, hey, now you have a car that you bought for virtually no money and you can start working on it. But changing the oil, power steering pump, fluids, oh, whatever. We'll get into that later. All right, there you have it. We got some cleanup done on it. We got a little ways to go. We can do that in the future as you take stuff apart and do that. But for right now, it feels a lot better. And you'll feel a lot better about owning that old car. Make it a little bit cleaner, make it fun to drive again. Just do all the little things that you can do to make what you have great. And you'll feel really good about yourself because you know you accomplished something awesome. So remember, hit the like button and then make sure you subscribe to the channel and we'll do more of this. We're gonna just keep pumping them out. Let's go, people. Let's go be a dream killer.